Awesome. I'm here with Richard Bartlett. Richard Bartlett lives in Idaho.
Caldwell, Idaho, for the
What's
last
it called?
15 years. Caldwell, west of Boise, about 30 miles from Boise.
Okay. How do you select the area?
I met a woman, married her. I brought her to the last class reunion, Cherry, and she was born and raised in Idaho. And then I love this area. I really like Idaho. I
Awesome.
love California, but I like Idaho.
Kind of a small world. My wife watches a program where a husband and wife just kind of took off and bought land and built their own house, and they call it good simple living. And it's somewhere in Idaho, but the guy is a local boy from Hawaii who was a cop with Vancouver Police Department, and Stephen Capellis knows him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But apparently, when Steven said he first signed up back in the early '80s, his boss was from Hawaii in the Vancouver Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hawaiians are everywhere.
Oh, they're everywhere. My sister lives in Tacoma. Well, actually, Graham, Graham, Washington, which is above Tacoma. And I know a few locals up in this Seattle area, the Portland, Seattle area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
Nothing much. I just had this idea, and it kind of taken off a little bit. Like I say, I already posted Mike Medeiros and Philip Swain. I've already talked to Stephen Capellis, Tanya Chun. After I talk to you, I'm going to talk to Kilauea Wilson. Next week I've got one with Kathy Thurston and Crystal Rose. Um, Tanya just said Abby would do one with me, and
What about
Kihao,
what
Charlie
about
Frank.
Stephen? Aloha.
I don't know. I don't know even know if I have what it takes to contact him. You have number for him?
Yeah, I have his number. Yeah,
Okay.
he's not going to make the reunion because he just had a family reunion in Hawaii uh, within the last 2 weeks. So
Mm,
from what I know, but
yeah.
I hope he makes it. But he said he wasn't going to make it. But it's up to
Yeah.
him.
That would be cool. You get a chance later on, send me his phone number or something. I can talk to him and ask him.
Yeah.
But anyway, you started Kamehameha what grade?
I took the test in sixth grade for seventh, didn't pass. Took it in seventh, but I didn't want to go to Kamehameha. I was going to Makai Elementary, then Waianae Intermediate, and that was all my friends. So my dad made me take it. So sixth grade for seventh grade didn't pass. Seventh grade for eighth passed, but no room. And then ninth grade. So I made it from ninth grade.
Okay, so you mentioned, I guess, so before coming to Kamehameha, you were at Makai Elementary?
Makaha Elementary.
Oh, Makaha Elementary. Okay.
Yeah.
But you were living in Nanakuli.
We lived in Makaha for like 2 weeks. In fact, right down the road from Kevin Tevis. And then we moved to Nanakuli, but I still went to Makaha Elementary. Then Waianae Intermediate. And then
Okay.
all my buddies was going to Waianae High School, and I ended up going to Kamehameha.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then we ended up playing them in a football game. Yeah, all my buddies.
Wow. And you still have family back home?
My sister lives in Kauai. A brother that passed lived in Kona, and everybody else is either Washington or Tennessee.
Wow.
Well, I got a sister in Sisters, Oregon, a sister in Graham, Washington, and then a sister in Tennessee and a brother in Kentucky.
Now, 75 to 79, I was in Oregon. Have you been to that Sisters area?
Oh yes,
Oh my God. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, my sister lives in Sisters. And so we just had a family reunion last August. But actually, it wasn't a, it turned out being a family reunion was my sister. She's number three. I'm number seven of eight kids. She's number three. And her kids put together a 50th wedding anniversary for their mom and dad, which is my sister. So my other siblings, there's five of us total that went there. I lost two. I lost number two and number two and number five.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a big gangy, man. 8 kids.
Oh yeah, but see, the thing is, we're at the age where you got that domino effect. One right after, Oh, so far, my oldest sister, she's the strong. She's strong. She just turned 76 yesterday, and she's strong. She's still doing things. She called it. She found her dream job in Tennessee. She's a secretary. She found her dream job. I go, sis, you're supposed to retire at that age. She goes, nah, I got nothing to do. So she got herself a dream job.
Hey, I
Yeah,
mean, if you can, you can. Oh, that's awesome.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was on the road for, geez, 30 some odd years. I liked it because it was independent. I got to do what I needed to do to get the job done. But, being a sacrifice, be away from home. Yeah, but, it was
Uh,
part of my life. I loved it.
so let's catch people up. We graduated, and then Richard Bartlett did what?
Wow. We graduated June 4th. I
Okay.
was in California June 8th, along with Jeff Noah, Pokey Ellis. Let me see who else.
You
And there was a
you
couple other
came
guys. We
you
went to
came
San
up
Diego
to go
Junior
school.
College. Yeah, we played football at San Diego Junior College for 2 years. And then I sat out a year. Then I went to Cal Poly Pomona. I was going to play there. I was going to walk on. Then, that didn't work out. My girlfriend at the time, and by being my wife, Dolly, my first wife, who some of the class met at, what's our 20th reunion or the 15th reunion. And then she was pregnant. We had a little boy. We got married. Then we had 3 kids total. Then I started working for a moving company, part time, going to San Diego Junior College. Oh yeah, Pat Gomes is with us. Jeff Noah and I worked there. Then I became a contractor for him. Then I went on the road, drove 48 states, moving families cross country. I was still young enough and physical enough that I could do the job. And I loved it, and I really did. And then I did that all the way up until 2013.
Wow. Okay.
I
So
got tired. I got tired of doing household. So a buddy of mine, he was hauling cars. So I go, wow, I can do that. So I hauled cars for like 9.5 years. Anywhere from the family Volkswagen to $1 million cars. Why? Because they can.
now, was it part of your deal to load and unload those cars too?
Yes. Yes, it was. Now that setup was, well, with household, I needed a crew. I needed somebody to help me come into your house. Like, you're moving Minnesota to California. I come in with a crew with boxes. I pack you up. I load you in the trailer, drive cross country, deliver you. Thank you. Have a great day. Day after day, load after load. And I averaged about 50, 60 moves a year.
Wow.
Yeah. And, because, like, if I come to your house, depending upon how much you got, if I come to your house, it might take me 2 or 3 days, one day to pack, a day and a half to pack, day and a half to load, 2, 3 days to drive across country to deliver it, and then one day to unload. So that then I do that for a while. Then I take, and summer's our busiest time. So there's really no summertime off. Then in 2013, I tried hauling cars. It's a one-man operation. Enclosed trailer, driving on the lift gate, lift goes up, drive it in the trailer, secure it, done. I loved it. I really did.
I think I would just be nervous moving somebody's $1 million car into the truck, man.
At first, you would think so, but it's freight on wheels. Of course, you're going to be careful, but you drive it in, secure it, and after a while, it just becomes a routine. Like
Wow.
the most expensive car I moved was a 1969 Ford GT, $11 million. That was a Mecum auction car. At the time, it was the highest auction car, but now I think there's a 64 Porsche or 64 Ferrari that went for $64 million.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and then we pick up brand new cars that goes to from the port going to dealers like Porsches, Mercedes, Maseratis, Lamborghinis. Yeah, so all the new cars that go to dealers, we pick them up from the port and take them to the dealerships. And after a while, they're nice. I mean, they're like beautiful cars, but the price tags on them are just so outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I dream out loud and I look at just a new Ford truck, and that's $70,000, man.
Exactly. Yeah, and because I worked for Reliable Carriers. At one time, we were the face for Mecum auctions, and there was one a month in a state. So you're picking up all the classic cars. If it's out there, we've hauled them. And some of them are, man, they're great to look at, but to either get in it, they're so uncomfortable. And
Huh.
I'm really not a car guy. It's just something that I did. And yeah, if we got a claim, we're responsible for the car. Yeah,
I guess that's why there's insurance, yeah.
that's why there's insurance. Here's one claim I'm going to tell you about. Not proud of, but I'm backing out of the trailer, a $2.5 million Ford GT. So I'm backing it out of the trailer. You got to a Ford dealership. It needed service. So you got the service manager and a couple other people with their phones. They're videotaping me backing out of the trailer. So I'm backing up. It's a low profile. Motor's right here, So I'm backing up slow, slow. I get out, park the truck, and they're looking down at the tire. I'm going, what the heck? So I get out. They had me back into my safety chain, and they couldn't even tell me to stop. So they're behind the car now. So they tell me, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm behind. They're behind the car, not next to me, telling me that, hey, you're getting close. And then they say, well, I told you to stop, but you didn't listen. I go, I didn't even hear you. So yeah, that was a little claim.
Stuff happens. I mean, it's gotta.
Oh, I know. It's
You
like,
cannot have a perfect record.
and but that could have been simply avoided. But they're so into taking a video of this car coming out of my trailer, and I'm coming back slow, 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 and they couldn't even come around to the window side, the driver's side, and say, hey, you're getting close back there. No, they waited till I was all the way out. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, but after a while, it's just shit happens.
But I hear what you're saying too about that lifestyle. Back in August, I drove to go see my cousin in Libby, Montana. So it was like 17, 19 hour drive. But I mean, just, seeing the landscape and the mountains when we don't really have mountains in Minnesota, it's like,
No.
oh, nice. Certain times of day, sun's going up or sun's coming down, and you're just looking out that windshield going, wow, this is the
Yeah.
life. But, I
And the
imagine
last,
with a load, you're doing some extra work, but
it's like, they say, wow, you got to see the country. I go, you know what? I work all day, drive all day. So it's like, okay, I'm driving through the country. Like I was picking up a car in Vermont, and I was telling him, I go, you know what? It was Vermont and Massachusetts. He said, I've never been to the state of Maine. So the guy goes, really? Come on. Put me in his car. About 5 minutes later, he goes, okay, we're in Maine. It looked just like Vermont. It was like, oh, okay. Now I can say I've been to every state except for Alaska, which I'm going in July.
oh, right on. Like
Yeah.
a cruise kind of thing or what?
No, my son lives there, and so every year we say we're gonna go, we're gonna go, we're gonna go, but we never did. So this year, like I said, some plans have come up before and after, and that's why I can't make the Hawaii trip. But I think we're gonna go to Alaska.
All right. Now, you mentioned your son twice already. How many kids do you have?
I have three. My
Okay.
wife has five. Oh, look at Gracie. Gracie, say hello. This is Gracie.
What's
She
up,
just
Gracie?
Yeah, Gracie. She's a rescue dog. We rescued her. She's a flat retriever. So anyway, like I have three. My son Koa, my daughter Manu, and my youngest Melly. So my son Koa has two boys. My daughter Manu has two girls and a boy, and her oldest daughter just made me a great grandfather 4 months ago. Yeah,
April 15th, I had my second great grandchild born. So, yeah.
it was November 13th, 2023. 24, I mean. Yeah, so, and then my youngest daughter, she has a boy. He turns 3 April 28th. So I'm going to, and she lives in Houston. I'm going to Houston for his third birthday.
Right on.
And then my wife, she has 5 kids. One in Alaska, and the other four are within an hour's drive from us.
Oh, right
I
on.
have
Okay.
I have 21 grandkids and one great grandkid, one great granddaughter.
Wow.
Yeah, and 15 of them are within an hour's drive, and they're here during the summer, like almost every other weekend.
I hope you're good with names, Grandpa.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean, I got nine, and I have to stop sometimes and go by their clothing. Hey, you with the blue shirt.
yeah. It's like, of course, Mo, Larry, Curly. I'm like uh, calling them their brother's name or their sister's name. It's like, oh, finally get it right.
Yeah, yeah. So your wife is originally an Idaho girl.
She's an Idahoan. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're retired now, aren't you?
Yes, 2.5
Okay.
years. September 22.
Is your wife still working?
No, she's been retired also. Yeah, she's been retired for 4 years now.
Okay. What kind of work did she do?
She worked with, first was Oregon when I first met her. She worked with the state of Oregon in the school district. And then when we
Like
moved,
like a teacher?
yeah, she worked with, I guess, handicapped students,
Oh, okay, okay. Maybe
you know,
special ed or something like that.
and then when we moved, see, my thing is like, as a truck driver, I was an owner operator. I can live anywhere, because I don't need to be in office, so I can live anywhere. So after I left California, lived in Oregon, it was great. But my love is sports. I love playing racquetball. I'm in the pickleball, and where we lived at the time was Vail, Oregon, just south of Ontario, Oregon, the Oregon-Idaho state line. The nearest racquetball court was an hour away. So eventually we moved here where now it's 10 miles away. So I still play racquetball 3, 4 days a week. In fact, I got one this afternoon. I got a
I
game this
saw it.
afternoon.
Right
Yeah, there's a
on.
group of guys that I met. When I drove cross country, I'd always stop at a gym to go play, get out of the gym, get out of the truck, do some exercise, use the facilities, and I met some good friends along the way. But so these group of guys that I live with, live by, yeah, we get along pretty good. We're all about the same caliber.
Right on. That's the uniqueness of life sometimes,
Yeah, and
you
I got to see you one time, remember? And then I see Jeff.
absolutely.
Then I see Jeff and Steve in Vegas, and so I got to see some of my classmates and some friends. That was the good thing about traveling. Like
It's
Jeff Noah and I, we played racquetball with his cousin or uncle in Vegas. Yeah, that's fun.
cool. Yeah, he's kind of on the fence. We jumped on Zoom together just to talk story a little bit and kind of get his feet wet being on camera and stuff. And so I think I'm gonna get him, hear his story because he's got an amazing story. I mean, in fact, a lot of you already have all popped up appearing in like when I talked to Philip Swain, he was in that Southern Cal kind of area where you and Jeff were at, and he talked about you guys occasionally getting together, and then Jeff mentioned it. So, I guess as we went through, we ended up running into people
Yeah,
and,
like at Jeff
they could,
in Vegas with Jeff. We went over to Tanya's house, went swimming in her pool for a bit, talk story, chit chat. Yeah, plus there's a few local Hawaiian restaurants in Vegas.
oh,
Oh
tons
yeah.
from what I see. I mean,
Oh,
just,
now my favorite when we go there, we go to Zippy's. Like I think I sent a couple pictures of Steve and I or Jeff and I. We went to Zippy's.
yeah, it's lots up, but you don't get homesick, that's for sure.
No,
Living in Vegas. Now,
you
where
just
you live, do you
get a
have
big.
access to local food?
There's there's a place called Mobetta's.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, they got three franchise restaurants out here. Mobetta's.
Huh. I think I've seen them advertised somewhere along the line. So,
Yeah, and then of course, driving across, I know where they're at. So like there's L&L's was popping up on the west side. So I kind of know where they're at, and then when I go to my sister's up in Washington, she would take me to some places. So yeah, I get my onos, get my little hungry for that.
yeah, right on, right on. That works. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do Saturday. We're on spring break right now because I'm still driving a school bus, part time.
Right.
But I'm gonna go up to Minneapolis, 2.5 hours drive. There's some younger guy that I guess he had a restaurant in Vegas, and then for some reason he's in Minneapolis now, and he's creative. They call that fusion, where it's like ramen, but it's got New York strip steak in it, or
Yeah.
they change them up a little bit, yeah. So I
Yeah.
figure, well, I'll go check him out, see what he's all about. But he creative guy, and he puts out some funny marketing videos. So
So
he
let me
seems
ask
like a
you,
person like,
I still have my CDL, and right down the road is school. They're always looking for school bus drivers. I said that's one thing I wasn't going to drive is dealing with those little kids. How do you deal with those screaming kids?
you just got to catch them on the first day you pick them up, first day of school. You lay it out, and maybe you might, have to remind for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. But once they get locked in, all it takes is a look or a
Because you're the
reminder on
same
the
driver every day,
yeah.
a certain route, right? Yeah, my niece, she did the same in Washington and in Colorado, and she said, yeah, you lay down the law, and then you occasionally you're gonna get because they're little kids. Now, what grade
Well,
level are you handling?
I carry them all, kindergarten to senior.
Really?
See, and you and I grew up in a different world. I thought when I started, I was going to have trouble with some hardhead high school kids.
Right,
They're like zombies, man. They get on the bus, they turn on their phone, and I don't hear nothing from any of them.
right.
But the kindergartners, first graders, the ones with short-term memory,
Yeah.
you tell them sit down. 2 minutes later, you look back, they're standing up again. I thought I told you sit down. I did sit down. I paused sit down now. you know.
Yeah, I know. And growing up, living in Nanakuli, I would commute, uh, catch the bus into town and then catch another bus up to the campus and then either walk up the hill or catch the shuttle. Then I started boarding in 11th grade. That was great. Oh, that was great. We
Yeah.
used to go up Irwin Wright, myself. We used to go up to the girls' campus and rearrange their furniture outside the building. One time I think it was Pat K. Core and either I was on one end of the couch, he was on the other. He's in the building, I'm out the building. You hear this, you boys better put that down right now. We couldn't do it in the hallway, so we took it outside. Oh yeah, that was fun.
We had a big one like that my freshman year. The seniors all kind of coerced us. We went up to the girls' dorm right above us, Liho Liho,
Mm-hmm.
took all the furniture out of their lounge, including the pool table, and put
Wow.
it down on the basketball court, which was below the dorm. But I mean, those seniors were together, man. They had walkie-talkies. They had, I mean, like a military operation, man.
Wow.
Because we probably had 80 guys from 3 dorms all in on this
So
furniture moving effort.
wow. No, this is just my door, but maybe 7 guys. We went all the way up at the top, and then
What
there's
dorm
one
were you in? Were you in Kamehameha?
Luna Lilo,
Oh, okay, okay.
me, and then yeah, Erwin Wright, myself, and then anyway, so it was New Year's or Fourth of July. No, it wasn't Fourth of July. It was one of those. So we got some firecrackers, and we went in the hallways. In the hallways where it echoed, we set different length fuses. So we did it after we did everything. We came back down. Then you hear them going off. One would go off in sequence, and the next one would go after that one. Oh yeah. Then we jump down. We go to the pool, and we all jumped in the pool. We all went skinny dipping. Said back there was this other kid. I can't think of his name. He jumped in the pool with his shorts on, and then we go, "What are you doing?" He jumped out, took his pants off, then he jumped back in. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was you know we didn't hurt anybody. That was fun.
yeah. It's like and surprisingly, as I talk more about it, there was so much I had forgotten about high school and talking to classmates now, it's kind of reviving it, bringing back to life in my head, and I'm kind of go, wow, okay. But I told Jeff, I hope when they, pass out name tags that it's got real big letters, it's like have
I
it
know.
be about this big.
Yeah, you walk away with binoculars or a little glass. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about memories like Stephen Capellas. Love the guy. And we had one formation upper campus, and he was running late. he came around with his car and he kind of gunned it on the grass and he pressed the brakes and he skid into the wall and we're all in formation and I'm telling my squad, shut up. Yep. I'm sure Steve remembers that.
Well, I've never, and it's funny now because a lot of his career has been high speed emergency vehicle driving training. So he probably could use that as a maybe an early example for his students.
Oh yes. Yeah, there was some good memories. Let's put it this way. I got more good memories, fond memories than bad memories.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like a bad grade in class or something. Yeah, don't remember that.
Yeah. Now, are you at least connected in with the classmate page on Facebook where a lot of our communications is going on?
I don't go on Facebook too often, but I believe I am. Yes. I
Okay.
see those. I see all the. I reached out to you a few months ago, and then you brought me current. And yeah, so I have been getting those messages.
Okay. Because all of these that I'm doing, I'm gonna load onto that page so everybody can watch them. So it's
Yeah.
KS75 classmate.
Yeah, to see this. Okay, delete next. Delete.
No, believe me, it's not gonna be that way. People have already. I only loaded two so far, and I've been getting stuff blowing up my phone with responses, and I want to be next, or include me in, or what a great idea. I haven't seen that guy in 50 years.
You know, whatever happened to Brian Plunkett
Don't know.
or Kirk Paulson? In fact, Erwin Wright. Last year, he happened to his daughter's going. His kids go to. They have ties to BYU in Provo, Utah. So his daughter happened to have a meeting 2 miles down the road from my house. So him and his wife came up here. They stayed at the house. I took them fishing. It was great. We had, we spent a good time together. And
I know Irwin's on Kauai.
right,
Kirk Paulson is in the state of Georgia.
right. And so Erin was kind of telling me a little about that, about Kirk.
Yeah. And he's, I think, fully retired and just kind of enjoying grandkids and life as a grandpa.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we tell ourselves. We enjoying being a grandpa.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Kirk and I had a good connection. We were roommates 8th grade. So
Uh
he
huh.
and I always stayed pretty close to high school because of that. So
Right. Yeah. So I was wondering about Brian Plunkett. After
no,
high school,
no.
I wonder what happened to him.
And then the classmates shared, they all went Big Island for Valentine's Day. And they shared some group photographs. And I kept seeing this one guy in the picture going, I have no idea, man. So I called Kilauea Wilson and he told me it was Philip Hooton. You remember Philip
Oh
Hooton?
yes, yes. In fact, it was our 15th or 20th reunion. We were talking because he's also a heavy equipment operator, truck driver.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had some ties. We were talking about that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like you look back and you're trying to share my classmates with my friends, and then who's this blue-eyed, white-haired, blonde person? Oh yeah, they got Hawaiian. See the clothes they're wearing? Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah. I know. It's like, yeah, that was some good. I missed it. I really did.
We and then when Tanya and I were talking this morning, to think back then as I look forward, I thought I would never see our 50th. It just seemed like it was 1,000 years away, you know what I mean?
Unreachable. And here we are.
Uh,
I know I had plans of going to the 45th, but because of the pandemic, it was like, oh no. And then looked forward to this one, but then some other things came up, filled my plate, and but 5 more years, if not sooner, I'll be there.
well, I think we'll do them sooner because we had one in
Vegas,
2023, yeah, where we did the Seattle West Coast Vegas thing,
right,
and I got in on the Seattle Portland portion of it. I didn't make
right.
it down to Vegas, but that was a lot of fun, man. It was.
Yeah, I know. I got the information too late, and I couldn't make that one.
Well,
But
you were still working back then too, right?
yeah,
Yeah. See, I wasn't. That was summertime, and school was out for me. So that's one of the things I like about school buses. I get all the school holidays,
right.
and I don't have a full solid day straight too. I take them to school, come home, have a little breakfast, maybe take a nap, watch TV. You know,
Like like I did most of my young adult life. I was a mover, so I moved families cross country. So now that I'm retired, I do that occasionally, like maybe once, twice, 2 times a week. And I'm still physically fit. That I love it. I mean, I worked. What today's? I worked Tuesday, and usually I'm off by 12, 1 o'clock. And the guy knows, the guy knows me, and well, knows my age, I should say. So he puts me on easier jobs, and you know, I'm one of those guys that, hey, you want to carry that heavy dresser upstairs? You go for it, man. You do it. I did those, been there. So I still like the physical part of it.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
So like I
Eh,
said, I got a racquetball game this afternoon, like Tuesday, Thursdays afternoon, and Saturday mornings. Now
uh,
that my grandkids, they're at the age of soccer, so we got soccer here. We got tennis, like we had tennis last week, and softball and basketball. So there's a lot of them we're running around to go see.
Well, yeah, with 23 grandkids, man, that's a lot of schedules to
Yeah, it's like
stay
there's
in touch with.
there's two playing Saturday morning at 9 o'clock at the same time on different fields. So and then we got 9 and then 10 and then 11 Saturday.
Ah,
Yeah, and then they're coming here to my house for I guess we're having our Easter egg hunt, barbecue, volleyball game here Saturday because my daughter is getting baptized on Sunday. So that's why it's not having. That's why we're having it on Saturday instead of Sunday.
now it's one of your daughters.
No, my stepdaughter.
Okay, okay.
Yes, my wife's youngest daughter. She's getting baptized. Yeah, so it's like okay. So we got a full plan, full schedule.
Hey, it helps keep you younger, I think, Richard. So,
You know, it does. It does, and
because
they're
once you wake up in the morning and have zero plan and no motivation, it's beginning of the end, I think, at that point.
that is true. And well, here in Idaho, it's starting to get warmer, so now I'm getting back into fishing. My wife, growing up in Nanakuli, I did spear fishing, like Stephen Piniello had it. Every time I would come home, we'd go diving and I'd take an Erin, and then my wife took me to this place called Hell's Canyon. It's the Oregon-Idaho border. It's called the Snake River. She took me with a pole and a bobber and a worm, and it's like I am literally hook, line, and sinker. I love it. Yeah, I wouldn't. I had no idea that I would like it as much. I was thinking, what? Throw a line in there for a bass, you catch a trout. Trying to get catfish, you catch something else. So it's like diving. You see it, you go after it. And my wife and I, we're strictly catch and release. Yeah, I don't. We don't eat too much fish. At least I don't. My mom, whatever I caught, she would eat anything I caught in out of the ocean. One time I caught an octopus, pretty big octopus. I brought it home. I went to my friend's house to go play basketball. Came back. Here's mom. I go, Mom, what are you doing? It was gonna be a pet. Not in this house. It's dinner. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's those are the good days, the innocent days.
Yeah. Now, do you fly fish too?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes.
I think Philip Swain was telling me he's been trying to get the hang of it. So
It
working on it.
it it's more work, but more rewarding. Yeah, you're going back and forth. You get to that spot, you know, and then boy, it grabs and your pole's bending. Yeah, yeah, and then it's a small fish, but it's still a good fight. And then when you get the big one, oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, I love it. I really do.
Yeah, because I have a first cousin. He's got a charter fishing business on
You
Molokai.
told me about that,
Yeah. And they have
wasn't
that
it?
flat area on the South Shore where they go for eel with fly fishing.
Yeah. Didn't you
And
have a cousin on Molokai
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, you told me. That's why I was like, oh man, I gotta hook up with them guys. I would love to do that.
And apparently I watch his videos that eel is a fighting fish, man. That is like these guys
Oh
work for every inch they get. Man.
yeah, it's just like catching trout on a fly rod. It is uh it's a good fight. It's a good fight. I mean, catching anything on a fly rod because a fly rod is so flimsy, so flexible, and then the fight on it is like, yeah, oh yeah. In fact, now the rivers, because of the snow is melting from the mountains, so the rivers are really high. So I like fly fishing in a river more than fly fishing in a pond or a lake.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, in a pond or in a lake, you're basically bass fishing more. You more bass fishing, and or a river. At least my experiences, it's always been a trout, browns, rainbows. You know, it's and and rainbows put up a lot of rain. Trout put up. I'm gonna say trout puts up. Trout puts up a good fight, but they're fragile. After you get them off the hook, you put them in the water, they turn upside down. You got to hold them in the water till they catch their breath, then you let them go. But
Oh,
a bass could jump out of the water, you know, fight all the way in, pick them up, throw, and they're gone. They're gone. Yeah,
a lot
it's
of energy in that one, huh?
yes, yeah.
Hmm.
So now
Oh
that the
boy.
weather is getting better, be doing some either fly fishing or bass fishing or even sturgeon fishing. There's a pond. There's a guy here in Idaho. He has like about 13 acres. He dug a hole, made a big old pond, and he brought sturgeon in there, and he charges to go fishing for sturgeon. You can't keep it, but and they put up a big fight. I mean, it's just a
When
big, it's a tug of war with a sturgeon. It's like a catfish. They're not really fighting; they're more pulling, and it's and my son caught one by the tail, like a 5 footer, and you have to go in the water because you can't bring it out of the water. So you have to go in the water. It's only about knee deep, waist deep, and it looked like he was wrestling an alligator. But he had a 5 foot sturgeon on his, and he caught by the tail. He happened to catch it by the tail. Yeah, so that
ah,
was a fight.
because they're not holding still for you to unhook them, right?
Right. Well, you turn them upside down, then they calm down.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the trick. You turn the sturgeon upside down, and then they calm. They calm down. Yes, I took my grandson for the first time, and yeah, he loved it.
You see?
Philip Swain. Hey,
Yeah. I'll get back to him. He had his turn. So
yeah,
uh, well, awesome, man. I'm not glad that you're gonna miss the reunion, but I am glad you're gonna maybe see some Ohana and do a little bit of traveling. So
yep.
that's a positive side to it. Glad to hear you're healthy and fit. You're looking good, my man.
Well, thank you very much. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, so
And then yeah, don't forget to send me Steven Pilialoha's contact.
oh yes, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that real soon. Well,
And
brother,
all the best to you and your Ohana.
much aloha.
And we will see you the next reunion opportunity we get.
If not sooner.
Right on. Hello, my man.
Aloha. Bye, class.